Hmm. Oh. Yes!
Good afternoon. This is Jupiter Exile, and we're playing Dark Souls Remastered. So, I started streaming. My first streams were quite a while ago. I'll make some adjustments while I'm talking. My first streams were quite a while ago, but I started doing streaming more actively kind of in the middle of the pandemic, and it was around the middle of last year that I started up by playing Dark Souls Remastered on SL1, and I started going through. I started going through each of the Dark Souls games. Pyromancer here, and we're gonna take the Master Key. I don't really care about base or anything like that. I started going through each of the Dark Souls games on SL1, 1, 2, and 3, and then a BL4 for Bloodborne. And I managed to complete all of that stuff just before Elden Ring came out, more or less. But because it was my first kind of set of streams in a while, the audio quality, the videos are not as good. So what I want to do right now is actually just go back and play through a lot of stuff over again. And I tried starting this up about 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I started this up with the goal of specifically trying to beat the run faster. And I was getting stuck on some things, which is pretty unsatisfying and a little demoralizing. So today, that's not my goal. Today, my goal is just to do it better. And better means a lot of things. My real goal here is just to get somewhat better footage to use. It's long. Am I forgetting something? I'm absolutely forgetting something. Classic Dark Souls 1 feel, nice slow swings. We're going to be taking a pretty orthodox pass forward for a while. And I'm just going to be chill about it, pretty much. So my previous SL1 is an all bosses run. Wow. Backstab is so generous in these old games. Go around you. So previously it was an all bosses, but this is just going to be an any percent. I am running melee only. I think Pyromancy completely ruins the challenge. Dragon landing. Slurp. Take these guys out, and we head down here to have a chat with the Undead Merchant. I want to buy a residence key, a reinforced club, and the bottomless box for convenience.
Thank you kindly.
You can also just buy the reinforced club and then kill him. The reinforced club is also personal preference, so you don't need the reinforced club either way. The residence key is really what we want there. Now, I could hop down immediately to start fighting those guys. This is not Sunless Skies. Did it not update the category? I switched the category over. But it doesn't always play. Yeah, so my full-fledged thought on this is my original SL1 run, or the streamed run of SL1 that I've got right now on YouTube, isn't like super good quality in terms of the audio. And it's also got like a slightly shrunken video, because I was like trying to show other columns and things. Alright, I can come up and kill these guys before I start the fight. I didn't think about that. Oh well, that's fine. I'm gonna walk the Taurus Demon away before I make some kind of regrettable mistake about using the ladder incorrectly. Slurp. Thank you for climbing down. That's pretty nice of you. You gonna slap me? No, okay. Yeah, so I go for it with two plunges, and then I just, you know, slap fight it. There's a couple different ways of doing that. The technical fastest way of doing that is actually to use one of the gold pine resins we got earlier. So that adds a lot of damage this early on in the game. Go figure. Dragon is liable to show up, give a bunch of people a bad time, partially including me. So we're going to come up here, cross the bridge, and stand over here. And to show off a bit, we're going to equip the gold pine resin. This is not strictly necessary at this point. We're going to wait until this guy gets antsy. It's like 10 seconds or so. Go ahead and apply the resin. It lasts a decent amount of time. So when he jumps, we move over here. We want to get his tail about 2 or 3 good slaps, which breaks the tail off, which is incidental, but it causes him like a little bit more hit stun. Then we light this bonfire and we rest to reset him. Then we can open this and proceed to the next section. We're gonna run past these guys, because there is a dude that triggers over here to actually shut this gate. So if we run through the moment we get there, we bypass the gate shutting, and we don't have to deal with that. The gate is shut now. That was the sound effect just a moment ago. Alright, I'm gonna purchase some Titanite Shards. Let's get about, like, 6 of them, probably. That'll get us up to +4 for now. And if we don't rest, this won't become our respawn bonfire, so let's make sure we take a quick little rest. Alright, and now we're heading after the bell tower gargoyles. This run is particularly obnoxious, so I'm going to try once to do it as just a straight-up run, although I am going to take a quick detour to grab this Firekeeper Soul. I'm going to activate this shortcut. Well, I am taking the shortcut, apparently. I meant to just step on that and then roll back out, but I guess we're going to do the whole thing. So one trick that people do when they're, like, seriously speedrunning these games, they will quit out in certain places to drop the aggro of enemies that are chasing them. So if you come over here and do a quit game to go back to title screen, when you reload back in over that, every NPC's aggro is reset back to, like, baseline, pretty much. It reinitializes all the AI. So this guy would not be standing here waiting for me in that case. This guy's a pain in the neck to get through, because sometimes he bogards the whole hallway, and there's just not a lot you can do about that when it happens. This bit's annoying because sometimes these guys block up hallways, or they come through too fast. Or things like that happen, where your swing to kill that one guy gets blocked by the wall. And that's what makes this an obnoxious section to do a run through, instead of trying to actually, like, kill everybody. So we're going to go back and try killing a lot more guys. It's going to be a bit slow on your weapon. So here, I just want to club this guy and then fall off and kill him, even if it costs me my life, because he won't respawn. And now I don't have to deal with Channeler power-up on the other guys anymore, or the big guy in the middle room. These guys are a pretty annoying enemy type on SL1 because they're all about, like, quick lunges. The reinforced club is part of a set of weapons that have like a so-called weighty weapon property. And what I mean by that is they're in the same category as axes and certain other clubs, where if I miss, my attack timing is actually going to be slower than if I hit. So if I whiff a blow into dead air, the character has a bit of a recovery animation. There's like an off-balance moment at the end of the swing. So before we come in to fight the gargoyles, we're going to activate gold pine resin. And this should allow us to just kind of trollerifically crush him. Get a cutscene intro. Theoretically we would. Come back over here to remove his tail. He has to growl at us after we've removed his tail. And he's very prone to staggering. And he's dead already. This other guy really likes fire breathing. So we just kill him super fast. The trick to a clean bell gargoyles is 100% just about aggression. Gold pine resin is a flat bonus throughout the entire game, so the attack power granted by that is just particularly silly in the very early game. Later in the game, it becomes less and less important to use resins, although it's still pretty cool. Seeing as we can't level up, sometimes we want to get HP in whatever way we can. Let me see. I think... is there like a homeward bone up around here somewhere? I can't remember if I've acquired one just yet. We've got one. So I can get the poison bite ring. I'm going to do that real quick. Now, when you're running this for realsies, the better routing here for like an all bosses speed clear is you don't take the bonfire at Andre's, so that once you've killed the bell gargoyles, you can homeward bone back to the Hellkite dragon bonfire. It's like back in Undeadburg, or rather the what's it called? Yeah, I'm gonna buy maybe like 2 more homeward bones. And oh, poison bite ring is 15,000. Well, that's lame. I'm not gonna worry about it then. We don't have more souls really to pick that up. We're just gonna run around places. Yeah, it's like a nice dandy shortcut. If you can use a homeward bone there. Let's see, and I believe... yeah, so now we have to be going through Lower Undeadburg. That's right, it was just Undeadburg that we've done. It wasn't Lower Undeadburg so far. I think there's another upgrade item back here. I think this is another Titanite? Nope. Never mind. I was wrong. And then back over here behind that guy is the location of our golden boy. But even if we don't free him, his location will be updated at this point to be back in Firelink. Oh, hey, item. Not important. So now I'm going to genuinely go back to Firelink Shrine for a moment, just to kick him off a cliff, to make sure I don't have anything annoying happen later. While I'm taking the shortcut back, I want to fall off and land up here. I could do like the full return segment by like rolling off over here and all that extra crap. I'm thinking about whether I want to do something in that way. Well, not the full return. Oh, whoops. I appear to have already committed myself one way or another. So I'm going to take this shortcut back, and we're going to use this to grab a couple of items, if I can remember the right arrangement to get all the stuff. Okay, so the two chests that are back there, I'm not sure if I can get now that I've dropped down. Maybe not. Okay. Alright. That's fine. Hey, buddy. It was very nice of the developers to put him there. Man, can you imagine if he was not right next to a cliff? Yes, the game is offline forever, it seems. So we'll load back in here, tag this, getting Humanity and the Ring of Favor and Protection. I think the Humanity's kind of a hint he's Dark Wraithy. And this ring is actually a decent chunk of health in this game, but more importantly than that, there just aren't really good rings for a big chunk of Dark Souls 1. There's about maybe 2 or 3 rings grand total that are meaningful. So we don't need to be fully committed to the Ring of Favor and Protection. It's not a game. It's not a game breaker, or even terribly a game changer. But it's a really nice holdover until we have things like, you know, the Chloranthy Ring, Ring of Steel Protection, and other things like that. Alright, so coming back up into the Undead Parish, I'm going to go to Andre and get my weapon upgraded, because I can afford to get it a little bit better. He won't have large stones, and he doesn't have the large ember yet, so I think the most I can do is a +5. And then we'll just have to move on with that. So the last time I was sitting down to do this, I went out of my way to make my weapon into a fire weapon before doing certain things. And this time I'm not going to bother with that, because it's a huge bother to go into the catacombs, and it's honestly like a side grade in a lot of cases. Yeah, so that's the most we can do on that. We can't modify because he doesn't have any like, better stuff yet. So we'll just come in here and buy the weaponsmith box, the armorsmith box, and the repair box, so that when we inevitably screw up, we have more options. Okay. Moving along. So the next step is for us to do things in lower end Undeadburg. which is a pain in the neck. It's a tough area. We can very legitimately die in the area itself because there's a bunch of dogs. And then assuming we get through the dogs, the boss there is another pair of dogs with a Capra demon behind them. It's mostly the dogs, though. I would not be surprised to get killed by the dogs like 6 times. Capra demon gets me maybe once in the whole run of it. It's very nice of you to look out for me, but I don't need those shards anymore. We're pretty much good on them. We're going to be looking for large Titanite Shards to do our next round of upgrading. And we won't really care about upgrading our weapon. No. Weapon is the thing we do care about. We don't really care about upgrading our armor throughout the run. It's just not important. I moved at this pig in a very haphazard way. So I'm just gonna kind of hope it plays nice while I do what I gotta. Nope. Okay. I forgot where one of those movements was gonna spit me out, and I made a mistake. And unfortunately, we got all the way back to Firelink, so we're gonna approach this from the other direction. Oh, what am I freaking doing? I'm running around this big long way to get over here. I missed a key? Where did I miss a key? I'm supposed to have this key right now. I forgot to pick up something. Crap, I think I left a key in the bell tower. Alright. I'm about to have a lot of people chasing me, so I'm like half thinking about swinging past on... okay. Not that many people chasing me. Wow. Oh boy. Dang it, I should have been taking the, I should have taken the elevator back up from Undeadburg. Like, let's see, because it was up here. No? Where the heck is it? I've completely forgotten where this stupid key is. No, that's right. This key is by the, this key's by the gate. That's right. There's what I needed. That is what we tragically forgot. So I go over there and kill that specific guy on the left because it's pretty likely the boar is going to get stuck somewhere in the geometry or run into fire or something cool like that. We'll reset aggro by resting at this bonfire, and then we need to make it across this bridge. Pretty sure the dragon is not going to come back, but I don't remember what the trigger is for the dragon actually leaving. Oh, no, I see him flying over there. He's about to show. How are we doing? How are we feeling now? Okay, cool. Sometimes, thankfully not too often, the fire will just casually double hit and give you a bad time. Thankfully, the Pyromancer armor is pretty resistant to fire. We've also got the... So here, we have some dogs. They're not quite as bad as dogs in later Dark Souls games. They're even faster paced. So as we run through here, some rogues are going to come out from each of the buildings, and they're going to try to mess up our day. They can do backstabs and all sorts of brutal stuff. We block the dogs super quick so that we can try and evade them. It's going to come down past this way, and I would like to open up another shortcut. That is going to require that we get past another couple guys here. So I can get into, I believe it's here. Past this guy. The dog's still right on my heels. And I just want to go this way. And we're going to open up a grate, which will link this back to Firelink Shrine, so that we can make the hike from Firelink Shrine if we want. And I'm actually going to go nap at Firelink Shrine, because I think this is a much easier walk to the boss we need to fight. And I don't think I've ever beat the Capra Demon on the first try, so we're going to assume that we're not going to wind up doing that. I'm just glad I made it past the dogs in Lower Undeadburg the first time. So every time we need to go in, we're going to have to fight these 2 rogues, and then a pair of dogs will come down the stairs. They should be aggroed at this point, I think. No? They're just patrolling. That was a bit lucky. There's one more. He waited for me to turn around before he tried something. I'm going to make sure I'm at full health before I cross this door. And this fight's a mess. It's just havoc. Okay, so we gotta find the other dog. I tried to get the dog with a plunging attack. Didn't work. Stay locked onto the true threat. Okay. That's probably okay. As long as we can get up. I can get some distance. Bring some Estus. Take a hit. That's okay. Got in some Estus. The pine resin. And I got killed. Damn it. Alright, the pine resin was a little too greedy. I could have fought him without the pine resin. Cool idea. And I probably should have. So, stepping in again. We're gonna stand near the door. Dodge the first swing. Kill the first dog. Dodge. We get stuck on the dog. We're eating another hit. Okay. There's also a tiny flippin' room. So anytime we're locked on, the game is going to have a real fun time showing us the trees. Okay, we've had a generally hard time recovering, so we just need to manage the rest of this really well. But we'll get him to stagger. We'll just plan on his AI being a derp, because if you're playing Dark Souls 1, that's pretty reliable. And that'll finish up the Capra Demon fight. Oh boy, that was, like, weirdly tense. But we managed to get him second try, which is not really too bad.